students, let us start our discussion about AC voltage applied to a capacitor. So for this, let us assume that we have a capacitor of capacitance C, and this is connected to a AC voltage source of potential at an instant of time V. So V can be expressed in the term of sine, that is Vm sine of omega t, because the potential applied across the capacitor changes its polarity, also the magnitude with respect to time, and this potential source is known as the AC potential source, AC voltage source. So this can be expressed as the equation of V equal to Vm sine omega t. So if such type of potential source is applied to a capacitor, then after connecting this, we can assume that there is a particular value of current flowing through the capacitor, and when there is a current flowing through the capacitor, then capacitor starts charging, and suppose that after time t the charge stored across the capacitor becomes q coulomb. Then at that time, if the charge stored in the capacitor is q, then at that time the potential across the capacitor is V, and we know that as the charge across the capacitor increases, charge on the plate of the capacitor increases, then the potential across the capacitor is also increases, and the potential across the capacitor is always equal to the potential supplied by the source, because they are connected in parallel. So we can write it as V, that is the supplied potential, is equal to the potential across the capacitor, that is Q by C. So if we put the value of this V, that is Vm sine omega t, then we get here Q by C. From here we get Q is equal to Vm into C sine omega t. Okay, so the value of the electric current flowing through the circuit at an instant of time t will be given by the rate of flow of charge. So if we differentiate this equation, then we get I flowing through the circuit. So I is equal to dq by dt. So if we differentiate this equation, then we get dq by dt, and we differentiate this with respect to time, then we get Vmc, and the differentiation of sine omega t is cos omega t, and differentiation of omega t is omega. So omega becomes at outside, and this becomes cos of omega t. Okay, so this becomes I is equal to Vm omega c dot cos of omega t. As we know that according to Ohm's law, the current can be expressed as the ratio of the potential to the resistance. So here we are seeing that this is a particular constant variable quantity, but this has no any unit. So here a particular quantity that provides us some value of some unit or dimensional quantity. So after observing it, we can write it as in the form of V by R. So here is V, and if we make this as R, so from here we can write it as Vm divided by 1 upon omega c. So from here we can easily conclude that this 1 upon omega c provides us the same unit or same dimension of that of R. So this acts as the resistance of the capacitor. So this is known as capacitive reactance. Okay, and this can be expressed by a particular term that is known as Xc. So I can be written as Vm by Xc cos omega t. Here Xc is equal to 1 upon omega c. This is known as what? Capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance. Okay, so as we know that I varies its value with respect to time. So if the maximum value at an instant of time is Im, then this Vm by Xc can be written as Im, because when the potential becomes Vm, then the current is also becomes its value. So Vm by Xc is Im, so this becomes I m cos of omega t. Okay, so if we write it as equation number 2 and this one is as equation number 1, then on comparing the equation 1 and 2 we get that the V is equal to Vm sin omega t, but I is equal to Im cos omega t. So we can observe from here that there is a phase difference between V and I. So to find out what will be the degree of phase, what is the phase difference between V and I, let us write both equation in same trigonometric function, that is sine. So if we write as V equal to Vm sin omega t and taking as equation number 1, and also write I as Im cos omega t, then we can compare these two equations and also find out the phase difference between them. Only this cos will converted into sine. So for conversion of this cos into sine, let us assume that this can be written as Im, and we know that sine of 90 minus theta is also equal to cos theta, but in that 90 minus omega t, so omega t becomes negative, so we cannot take sin omega t, so we can write it as sine of 90 plus theta. It means 90 plus omega t, so it can be written as omega t plus 90. Okay, so from here this is easily observed that there is same trigonometric function applied for the argument of omega t, and here Vm is the maximum amplitude of the potential, Im is the maximum amplitude of the current, but the phase of the potential is omega t and the phase of the current is omega t plus pi by 2. So from here we can easily conclude that the phase difference between potential and current is pi by 2. So if we plot the graph for showing potential and current with time, then we can represent it as on the time axis like this. Suppose that this is time axis, and if we take different time on the time axis, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, t and so on, then if you take the value of V as Vm, this is the maximum value of the potential in positive direction, and this is the maximum value of potential in negative polarity, and this is the value of Im, and this one is the value of Im. So if we plot a graph for potential and current, then we can easily plot it. Now if we make a table for this, then we get t is equal to, and for omega t is equal to, so sin omega t, okay, and also for V, and next you can also write omega t plus pi by 2 and for I. So you can easily take different values of t and can solve for omega t and sin omega t. So what will be the value of omega t comes out, putting that value with multiplying by Vm, so you can easily obtain what will be the value of V at different instant of time t. So as if we put the value of t as 0, so we can get the value of this sin omega t becomes 0, so V is 0. This is, and when we put the value of t is as t by 4, then omega is 2 pi by t, and this t is t by 4. It means t and t will cancel each other, 2 and 2, 2 to 4, it means pi by 2. So omega t becomes what? Pi by 4. It means when we put this, then this becomes pi by 2, and sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so this becomes 0. So if we put this as 1, then V becomes Vm. Okay, so at that time this value of the potential becomes maximum, that is plus Vm. And again if you put t by 2, then 3t by 2, then t, then we can easily plot out the graph for sin omega t. As you know that this is a sinusoidal graph and this comes out like this. Okay, we can easily find out the graph for the potential. Similarly, if you want to find out what will be the graph of the current with respect to this voltage, then when we put the t is equal to 0, then this omega t becomes 0. It means we get sin pi by 2 and sin pi by 2 becomes 1. It means the value of current is plus Im. Okay, so when potential is 0, then the current is plus Im. Then again when we put t is equal to t by 4, then we get omega t is equal to pi by 2. Then this pi by 2 and this pi by 2 becomes pi, so sin pi becomes 0. It means when we get the value of V as Vm, then the value of I becomes 0. So the graph for this I, it means the current flowing through the capacitor, is plotted like this. This is the graph which represents the current flowing through the capacitor. Okay, so this is the graph for current through the capacitor, that is I equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2, and this is graph for potential, that is equal to Vm sin omega t. Okay, so this is a simple graphical representation of the potential and current with respect to time. Now what will be the value of the power dissipated in the capacitor during charging of capacitor and discharging of capacitor? So as we know that when the current flows through this direction and increases from 0 to maximum, then the capacitor now one thing more, we are seeing that when capacitor is fully charged, then the current flow passes through the capacitor becomes stops. It means current blocks by the capacitor. So initially when we supplied the voltage, then voltage increases from its 0 value to maximum value, but current passes through capacitor from its maximum value to 0 value. Initially you are seeing from this graph, when potential increases from 0 to its maximum value, then the current decreases from its maximum value to 0 value. So initially current flowing through the capacitor is maximum, and as the capacitor full charged, then the current flowing through the capacitor will stops and the potential across the capacitor becomes maximum. And at that time when the polarity of this AC voltage source inverted, as we know that the potential applied across the capacitor changes its polarity and also magnitude with respect to time. So when the potential across the capacitor decreases, then the current flowing through the capacitor reverses its direction. It means the current decreases or its value becomes negative. Negative means from lower than 0, because this becomes as 0 at the maximum potential applied across the capacitor. But after that the value of current becomes negative. It means the direction of current reverses. Okay, so current reverses its direction and increases from 0 to negative of minus Im, from 0 to negative of minus Im between the potential supplied to the capacitor from Vm to 0. Okay, so when the potential applied to the capacitor becomes 0, it means the increases potential from the across the capacitor increases, then decreases, then the potential becomes 0. It means at that condition the capacitor is fully discharged. Now at that time when the potential changes its polarity, it means there becomes a positive potential terminal and there becomes a negative, then there is a change in the direction of current also, and there will be increment in the current. because when there is no potential, and after that when potential is applied, then there will be the increment in the potential, and when the potential increases in opposite direction, then the current is also decreases. As we know that when potential increases, current decreases, because they are always at 90 degree of phase, and current lead ahead by a 90 degree phase with respect to the potential. It means potential is 90 degree lag behind, 90 degree phase lag behind with respect to the current. So when potential increases, then current decreases and reached at its zero value. So from here we can see that when we want to calculate what will be the value of the power loss inside the capacitor in one complete cycle. So from here we are seeing that the value of current and potential both are positive. So the power dissipated in the capacitor is positive in this loop, and again in this time interval from t is equal to t by 4 to t by 2, we are seeing that the direction of current is negative and direction of the potential is positive. So the product of potential and current is negative. It means the power dissipated is power dissipated in the circuit can be plotted like this graph. Okay, so this provides us the knowledge of the power dissipation in the capacitor. Okay, so this is power dissipation. Power is positive and here the power is negative. Similarly, again power is positive and then again power is negative. So if we talk about what will be the amount of power dissipation in one complete cycle, then we are seeing that 2 times the power is positive in same amount and other 2 times the power is negative in the circuit. So we can easily guess that the total power dissipated in one complete cycle is 0, because this plus this is always equal to this plus this. So when we take algebraic sum of the power across the capacitor in one complete cycle, then we get the value of the power dissipated is 0. Now we can demonstrate this average power equal to 0 by a mathematical conclusion. So let us calculate the average power across the capacitor. So as we know that V is equal to Vm sine omega t across the capacitor, and then the current flowing through the capacitor is Im sine omega t plus pi by 2. This can be written as Im cos omega t. Okay, so if you want to calculate the instantaneous power drop across the capacitor, then we can directly multiply the potential and current flowing through the capacitor. So this will be equal to Vm sin omega t dot Im cos of omega t. So from here we get Vm Im sin omega t dot cos omega t. So if we multiply and divide by 2 in this term, then we get 2 and 2 sine of omega t dot cos of omega t. We multiply by 2 and divide by 2 because we know that twice of sine omega t dot cos omega t is sine of twice omega t. So from here we get Vm Im by 2 dot sine of 2 omega t. So this is the average this is the instantaneous power drop inside the capacitor in one during charging or discharging. At any instant of time, the power dissipated in the circuit will be given by the formula Vm Im by 2 sine 2 omega t. But if you want to calculate what will be the average power drop, average power loss in one complete cycle, so if we want to calculate the average power loss in one complete cycle, then we have to integrate it from 0 to t Vm Im by 2 sine of 2 omega t and divided by total time interval, that is time capital T. Okay, so as Vm Im is constant and 2 is also constant, so it can be taken from outside of the integral, and this becomes sine 2 omega t dot dt. So as we know that from here this is t also, as we know that this is equal to 0 because the average of the sine is 0. Sine varies its value symmetrically from the main axis, time axis. It means the total value in positive direction is always equal to the total value in the negative direction. So this is equal to 0. So from here we get this is 0. So we can say that the average power dissipated in the capacitor in one complete cycle is always 0. Okay, so this is all about the AC voltage applied to a capacitor. You can also draw particular phasor circuit for the capacitor like this. So suppose that this is time axis. So if we plot this for potential and this makes omega t degree phase at an instant of time, then what will be the direction of the current? As we know that current is 90 degree phase forward with respect to the potential, so the direction of the current will be 90 degree plus from the potential. It means direction of current will be lying in this direction. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram representation of the potential and current on the phasor diagram axis. Okay, so this is all about the AC voltage applied to a capacitor. Tomorrow we will discuss the LCR series circuit and its solution. Okay, till now take care. Thank you.